Hello, everybody. Welcome to After Further Review. I am your host, Steve Tower, and tonight we are showcasing one of the newest releases from Play Games, their 2022-23 Pro Season for Highlight Maker Hoops. And I figured, what better way than to try to rewrite a little bit of history from last year's Eastern Conference Final. So we are going to be replaying out Game 7. In Boston between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. This was a series where Boston went down 3-0, then came back and won the next 3 games in a row, including a very exciting last half-second finish putback that gave Boston the win. And then unfortunately, Game 7 was sort of a dud in real life, but hopefully we will have an exciting game here tonight on the table. So, with the new release, you get, of course, all the teams. You get, I believe it is every referee. This is the stack of referee cards. I actually have the 3 refs to the side here who were the referees in real life for this game. They are not used in the Highlight Maker Hoops, but as soon as the History Maker Hoops game, the full play version comes out, fingers crossed, early next year, there will be referees in it, and you can use these cards interchangeably between the Highlight Maker Hoops and the full play version. So, very, very exciting times on the tabletop for basketball games. So, here we go. For anybody that hasn't seen Highlight Maker Hoops, I'll go through the first quarter sort of in not slow motion, but I'll explain things a little bit how they work, and then we'll get up to speed as we go on. And also want to thank everybody for joining me in the chat room. We got a good crowd in here tonight. Dale Buckingham has joined us. Marco Scola has joined us as well. Philip Reynolds. Let's see, Frank Burgo is in here. Bill from High Volume Games. Bob is here. P-Jet. Wow, Doug Justice is here as well. Let's see, I think I caught up on everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And a big thank you to all the members who are in the channel. If you would like to become a member, you can click the join button down below for more details on that. So, Highlight Maker Hoops, a quick play game. Where each quarter will be played out using 10 of these cards here, and will be what's the best way to describe it? It's not a I guess the equivalent would be sort of like a drive-by-drive football game, whereas each card is not going to represent one specific possession. It might represent a couple different possessions. Might represent a quick block of time. It might represent a couple minutes of time. And at the end of it, you get a score. You won't know exactly how many points each player scored, but you'll get an idea of why the team scored, who were the impact players of the game. So very, very, very cool game, the way that it all works out, based, of course, on qualities, which play is known for. And there's even coaches who will get involved if a coach card comes up. But other than that, let's just get right into the action, easier to explain as we go along. So, away we go. Here is our first card, and oh no. And that is a bad one for Boston. So right away, this is a coach card. In the game, you put a token on top of the home coach. They will be the first active coach. So now that we've had that, it'll flip over to here. But this is not only a timeout and bringing in a sub, but this says that the player on the top of the deck is out for the half. So that's Jason Tatum, who pulled up lame somewhere, so he is not going to be able to join us until the start of the second half. And now 2 players from the bench here are going to have to come in for Boston. So we'll have the Time Lord and Malcolm Brogdon will come onto the stack. And then what happens after you have a substitute, we'll roll 2 dice, and we will look at the results on the coach's chart. And we rolled a 7, and that gives us an energized result. So that means that during the timeout, the coach called a good play, which leads to a score. So we'll move the score marker down 1, and Boston will get momentum, which could potentially come into play on the next card. When a team scores, the opposing player stack you'll just flip and rotate to bring up the next player, and then we go to the next card. And yes, using the tokens here do not come with the game. I should have mentioned that at the top. These are designed and printed out by Travis Jansen. I picked these up 2 years ago at the Play Convention. So the game itself comes with just regular tokens, circular tokens that you can put out, but anything will suffice. So these keep track of the score, and these are your scoring caps. So the way a quarter ends is either when you resolve the last card in the deck here, the last of the 10 cards, or if one of the teams reaches their scoring cap for the quarter will end after that. So, all right, so here we go. Boston does get the first score, and they are ahead now. However, Jason Tatum is out for the half. All right, so this next one, this is a floor cam. So what we're going to look at is the visitor card. It says visiting player with defense reach. So we look over here, and Caleb Martin, he does not have the reach quality, offensive or defensive. The player qualities, they will have one of 3 symbols in front of them. A square represents that they have that quality on defense. A triangle represents that they have that quality on offense, and then a star means that they have it on both offense and defense. But in this case, Caleb Martin doesn't have reach at all. So this says no, then the home team is going to score. So Grant Williams, coming off the bench, has given his team an early lead here, and momentum stays with Boston. They'll rotate the stack on this side because of Boston scoring. Here comes the next card, and this is an unusual result. We'll roll the 2 dice, add them together, and then look over here at the unusual results chart. A result of 6 means that the trailing team sparks a rally, and they're going to move up 1 space. So that will be Miami. So Bam Adebayo will give his team their first impact point of the game. So now the momentum swings over to Miami. And here comes the next card, and it's going to be a coach card. So both coaches go into the bench early. So Kyle Lowry comes into the stack. We will roll for Eric Spoelstra. And we get a 5. That is a sync result. So for the Highlight Maker Hoop, sync and energize have the same game effect. It means that the play called works out, and they will score. So Lowry comes off the bench, gets an impact point right away. So we will flip the Boston stack, and now Jaylen Brown is on top. Here's a hoop cam. This is where you're going to look at both players. And we're looking for the pick quality, which is one of the rebound qualities, and neither player has that. So in a case where neither player has the quality asked for, it just means that it's an uneventful series of plays. You'll rotate both cards since nobody scored, and then we'll go to the next one. Here's another floor cam. Visiting player with offense power. Oh, that is Bam. And for Miami, that is good for him because not only does he have offense power, he has the star, so he has it on offense and defense, but he also has it underlined. So these play qualities, if they're underlined and it gets called for, he's actually going to move forward 2 spaces on the impact track. So Bam Adebayo powering his team to the lead as we draw towards the end of the first quarter here. And now here's our first card with the momentum. So if a team does have momentum and a card like this comes up, he will get first dibs at that. So instead of comparing both players, you'll look at the player with momentum first. In this case, Bam does not have the leap quality. And then when that happens, we will rotate the card. And if it was asking for a quality, then the opposing team would get a temporary momentum boost. But in this case, it is a ref look. So this is our first time that we are getting that. So the whistle blows, and over here it's going to tell you what it is, which team is going to get the free throws. So in this case, it's the trailing team, which will be Boston. So Marcus Smart is going to go to the line for 2. Let's see. So how the free throws work is you roll the 2 dice, add them together, and as long as you don't roll the clank rating, so in this case, Marcus Smart has a 5 and an 8. So if we roll anything but a 5 or an 8, the free throw will be good. There's a 7. The first one is good. And an 8, when he misses the second one. So he goes 1 for 2 at the line. So we'll move the marker up here to show that they have 1 point from free throws. Momentum gets reset back to neutral. We'll rotate both stacks. And here comes our next card. Max Strus and Al Horford are on top for their teams. Visiting player, defense, Spark. Strus, he has Spark for both offense and defense. So yes, he's going to force Al Horford into a miss. So no score there. We'll rotate the stacks. 2 cards left here in the quarter. A bump. So in this case, Grant Williams has it, and Gabe Vincent does not. So Grant Williams with another impact point. I believe he might have all 3 so far for Boston. And here's our last one. A pick. This time it's going to be Jimmy Butler who gets it. And his team they'll hit their scoring cap, but that was the last card of the quarter anyways. So we'll rotate there. So, end of the quarter. First thing we look at, if there are ever 7 spaces left between the score tokens and the end of the quarter, you would adjust the score. Each team would move up 1. That's a minimum scoring rule. And if let's see, if a team reaches their end of the quarter scoring cap, and there is a card left in the deck, the trailing team will get 1 point. But neither of that happened, so we will reset the cards. To begin the quarter, each team can choose to rotate the top card, but we'll just let them stay. We'll reset the scoring cap. The team in the lead, their scoring cap will move up by 5. And the trailing team, their scoring cap will move up 6 from their current spot. We'll have our next 10 cards move up. And there we go. We are ready for the second half. Let's see, as Mike and Edward have joined us in the chat room. Welcome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We are right into the second quarter here. Oh, and then to translate the scores, there are 4 different scoring grids that you can use for the 2022-23. They suggest using the mid-high or the high. So in this case, at the end of the first quarter, a 5-3. We go over here, 5-3 means that Miami is in front 41-33, but then Boston has that 1 free throw. So at the end of the first quarter, it is Miami 41 and Boston 34. So a high scoring first quarter. And let's see what happens. All right, so our first one, and it's going to be a timeout. So Boston with the timeout again, and this time there's a defensive adjustment. We're going to discard the next fact, so we will only have 9 cards. Now here comes Robert Williams into the game. We'll roll on the dice here, and we get an 8. And an 8 on Joe Mazzulla's card is nothing. So just a neutral result. We'll rotate both stacks and move on to the next card. All right, looking for the tip quality. This is a shot quality, and neither player has the tip quality. So after a smoking hot first half, or first quarter rather, both teams come out a little bit cold here. Floor cam, home player with defense power. So that's Jaylen Brown. He has offensive power, but not defense. So Kyle Lowry is going to score. And Miami extends their lead. Let's see, visiting player with defense smart. Lowry does have defense smart, so causes a turnover with good defense on Derek White. We'll rotate both cards. Here comes the next one. Ref look and one. Okay, so and the ref look, we're looking at the ref quality for both players. Bam Adebayo has the circle star rating, and Marcus Smart is blank. So Bam Adebayo will win that. So he's going to get an and one. So he gets an impact point and a chance to go to the line. His clank is 4 to 5. We roll a 3. So yes. There we go. All right. So we will rotate the stacks after an and one. However, this is the only time that the momentum will swing over to a team, but you'll rotate is after a and one because that team did score. So Boston trailing here, and here is a arc, and Strus, yes, he is gonna nail that from downtown, and now Miami starting to pull away, almost like in real life. This could be bad here. We'll rotate the Boston stack. They need to go on a run here. Having Jason Tatum out did not help them. All right, so Strus, here's a momentum check. He does have the bump, but there's a deny check here. So whenever you see that hand, that means that the opposing player has a chance to deny that. We'll roll a d6 and check on here, and if he has the appropriate skill, he will deny it. And actually, Robert Williams, he has an underlined defensive one. So if we roll a 4, not only does he stop the score, but then turns around and we'll get a point for Boston. So we need a 3 or 4 here. And we get the 4. So Robert Williams with a fantastic series of plays swats the ball away from Strus, which leads to a fast break score. And Boston now with a little momentum here near the end of the half. So here's a snag. Robert Williams, he has it, but a chance to deny for Vincent. He needs a 1 or a 2, and he doesn't get it. So here comes Boston trying to make it close here at the end of the half. And it's a ref look. And again, we're looking for the quality, and Jimmy Butler will win that. So he's going to go to the line for 2. First one is good, and second, he's going to clank the second one. So he goes 1 for 2, and that is the end of the half. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no adjustments for minimum scoring. And let's see, 8 to 5 at the end of the half is going to be Miami 68 and Boston 55. All right. So we'll reset the scoring cap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 6 for Boston. We'll get our next 10 cards out. When you start the second half, Tatum's going to come back in, and then each team also has the opportunity. They can rearrange their stack however they'd like. So I'm just going to put mine back with the starters on top, and then our bench players that came in. And I think that Miami will do the same thing. Well, actually, they'll have Lowry go right in behind Bam. All right, here we go. Start of the third quarter. Robert has joined us in the chat room, and Doug Justice has just become a new member of the channel. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. That is awesome. Cheers to you. I hope that whichever team you're rooting for here wins tonight. All right, start of the third quarter. Boston trailing, and they need to go on a run here. We'll have an unusual result to start the half. It's a 7. That is the trailing team. So Tatum is going to come right out and close the gap. And here is a... All right, it's a and one. So Tatum is coming out, a man on fire. An and one. Let's see, he's going to go to the line for a 3, and that is to make it a 3-point play, rather. And there we go. Tatum comes out on fire to start the second half, and he has closed the gap. Let's see, that's 8-7. So it's Miami 72, and Boston 68. All right, so 4-point game here. Boston with momentum. Visiting player defense Smart. Oh, that is Bam again. He has Smart underlined. So a defensive stop leads to an easy Miami bucket. Let's see, visiting player offense skill. That's Bam again. And yes, he does have offensive skill. Ooh, Bam putting the team on his shoulder. And they are starting to pull away again. But home player with offense skill, that is Marcus Smart. He has it underlined. So that is going to be 2 impact points. And here comes Boston. Let's see, Leap. That is going to go to Lowry, but Smart with a chance to deny. But the only thing that we can roll is a 2. Let's see, and we do not get it. So Lowry with the bucket. Miami back with momentum. We'll rotate that. Visiting player defense quick. That is Lowry. Yes, too quick for Horford, who loses the ball. Rotate both stacks here. Neither team has momentum, so we can just ignore that. And neither player has the pick quality. So a little lull in the action here as we're winding down the third quarter. And we have a ref look. So in this case, both players are neutral. So in that case, the tie goes to the home team. So Robert Williams is going to go to the line for 2 very important free throws. Let's see. Ooh, makes the first one right in between. He has a clank of 4 and then 6-7. Rolls a 5. So the first one is good, and the second one is good. Robert Williams goes 2 for 2 at the line. And just 1 card left here in the third. Visiting player offense quick. That is Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Buckets, he will get the score to end the half, or to end the third quarter, rather. So at the end of 3, 12-9 is Miami, oh boy, 104 to 94. So it's a 10-point game. High scoring affair here in Boston. I believe that historically, this game, let's see, what was it? It was 103 to 84 was the final. So we're already rewriting history, but Boston is going to need some help here to try to slow down Miami. All right, here we go, our last quarter play. Let's see, leap. Oh, and neither player has the leap quality. So nothing happening at the start of the fourth. Let's see, home player offense spark. Jaylen Brown, yes. What can Brown do for you? He can draw his team closer. Yes. So momentum, and he has it. But Bam Adebayo with a chance to deny. And boy, oh boy, let's see. The only thing we can roll is a 1 that will not be a stop. No, and not only is it a stop, but it's going to be a score the other way. What a difference Bam has made in this game. He would be our MVP of the game. if they can hold on. Let's see, visiting player offense reach. No, he has defense reach. So not able to score again. But Boston running out of time. Here's an unusual result. And it's 2. A defensive slowdown. Remove 1 fast action card. Oh, and we did not want that. So no one scores there. So rotate both stacks. Looking for the grab, and neither player has the grab quality. As Miami trying to put up some defense here at the end of the half. Let's see, push. That is going to go to Grant Williams. And the Williams players off the bench have been really helping us. And here is a ref look and a referee warning. And we're going to discard it. Oh, no. And it's going to be Butler who is going to go to the line, and that is going to do it for Miami. He will sink the first one. He will sink the second one. And let's see, I think that is going to do it. 13-11 is, so the final, it's going to be 117 to 109. So, Miami had that big run to start the game, and Boston could just not catch up. So there we go. History repeats itself, unfortunately, and it'll be Miami going again on to the finals. So there we go, guys. Yes, I figured Robert would be happy. I'm glad you got to see that. So that is our first look at the 2022-23 Pro season, available right now from the Play Games website. There is a link down below, and in addition to the Pro season set, if you did not get a chance to see the All Hallows Eve show that I did with Keith over on the Play YouTube channel, the Fictional Blam set is out. Both of these just came in the mail today, so I didn't get a chance to set up a schedule yet for my fictional team. But as you can see, these are now in full color, and they have a city associated with them. And so, unfortunately, New England did not make the cut. In fact, team number 10, who I took through the season last year, is now San Diego. So I'm debating whether I should continue my run and play out an abbreviated season and move out to sunny San Diego. But I'm not sure. But anyway, I will have some games coming up here with this new, just absolutely fantastic Fictional Blam set. So that will do it for tonight. Hope everyone has a fantastic week. Thank you again to Doug for joining us and becoming a member of the channel. I really appreciate the support, guys. And until Friday, Friday is Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day to all my fellow brothers and sisters who served. I will be doing a show at some point during the day on Friday. Actually, I might do a couple shows. I'm not sure, but we'll have our next football game with the New England Minutemen. It'll be week 9 somehow already in the Football America season set. And then I'll either do another game with the pro set here. Maybe I'll play out the finals between Miami and Denver, or I'll get the Blam cards out. But until then, my name's Steve. Get out there, have fun, play games, and I will see you after further review. Have a good night, everybody.